Welcome everybody. I have a Metatron card read and the general twin flame read for you out there on the table. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings out to you guys. I hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much for joining me today. So before I start the reads, last night when I was meditating, I was getting some messages I don't normally get. So when I was out astral traveling a bit last night, I found myself in the middle of a secret meeting in Geneva. So there was a Geneva portal there. I couldn't make out the specific faces. I wouldn't necessarily know who the leaders were anyway because I'm very disconnected from TV. But it was definitely a secret meeting of leaders. Some of them were decorated uniforms and others were regular suits. So I don't know if there was military there or that was just the culture's uniform of the leader. So that energy was there. And then I was getting, so I actually, when I found myself there, realized I didn't have protection. I mean, I had protected myself going into my meditation, but I didn't have protection from them seeing me. So I put up a shield right away as soon as I realized who I was looking at, because I wasn't looking for them. I just ended up right there. And I think they actually felt my presence there because as soon as I shielded myself, they were gone. So then I went to, I ended up in Russia with the same energy. In Saratov I was getting. There's a portal there that's actually connected to this portal in Geneva. And of course the big ALICE machines are under the Alps in that area between Swiss Alps and the French Alps. And so I did look up a couple of those key words to see what was coming up in the news, and I'll tell you what I found in just a second. But then I also was getting, on a different note, elderberry, the berry elderberry for the eyes, if you have problems with dry eyes. So I got some elderberries. I'll let you know how it works out, but we'll have to see. As soon as I looked up the elderberry, one of the indications was for eyes. It's also considered a diuretic, so it's probably very helpful for a lot of uses. And I'll let you know how that works out. So I looked up secret portal in Geneva, and then I looked up Saratov in Russia just to see if anything was coming up. And some very interesting, I took a lot of snapshots of different websites because a lot of interesting stuff was coming up. It was also interesting waking up today. I woke up at 8:38 looking at, I have a little cell phone holder, and the sun was reflecting on it, and it was very interesting shapes as it was flickering, but it looked like an egg that was, you know how like sometimes crystals are in the shape of an egg, but they're kind of hollowed out a little bit because they're not a whole, egg. It was kind of that look that was reflecting on there. And so I'd taken some pictures of that. And there was some lights reflected on my ceiling as well that looked like stars in the sky. And so one of the things that came up when I was looking up the secret portal in Geneva was Evie's crib. How profound is that, since my name is Evelyn and my nickname is Evie's? So Evie's crib is associated with Evelyn Rothschild. It's not, that's a man. It's one of the bankers from the Rothschilds family in the UK. And a Bilderberg meeting is an annual meeting in the Alps here, and that was very similar to the berry that I was looking up, the Bilderberg name. So I knew that was correct. But Evie's crib was like a child pornography type of cover site. And the person, you have to read the websites that I went into to understand it all. I don't want to go into it all here. But it was like, what's her name? Who got caught with the pornography stuff, and the children. she is associated with this person whose blog this was for Evie's Crib. And then again, it also relates back to Evelyn Rothschild, which is weird for me to just share the name Evelyn. And my father's French, so I get that the masculine energy's name is Evelyn because that's a very French thing. So there's also another website that came up, the African Portal also. And what came up in Africa was titled Space-Time Portals Manufactured by Physicist Open Doorway. And the website here was down the Chupacabra hole. So down the CHUPACABRA hole, HOLE.com. And that was from 10/20/2021. So definitely look at that site. There's a lot of videos in there that actually connect back to Evie's Crib as well. So check it out if you're interested in that. I invite you to do that. I don't think I can. I'm actually on my iPad that has those websites I took quick pics of this morning. So actually, let me hold on one second. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Okay, so I have a couple of them here. So the first one I saw was from the New York Times about the Bilderberg meetings, but that's in the news, so you can check that out. I think the meeting was today. How interesting. Secretive Bilderberg meetings draws Pompeo and Kushner, the New York Times. And just look up Bilderberg meeting in the New York Times if you want to check that one out. The other one I sent to myself was yournews.com, and that was regarding the senior officials to lead Russia-U.S. security talks in Geneva, but that's also very current. That news was from 12/30/2021. And then the CIA's SIRIAN tunnels, which we've talked about before, the big Alice machines underneath the Alps. And this is related to SIRIAN, and there was an earthquake there. And this was from a website called Diane with 2 N's and an E, so DIANNE, and then marshallreport.com/CIAS-CERN-tunnels-quake. So you can check that out as well if you want to, but that was also coming up as related. And then from RussianHistoryBlog.org, and that was from February 11, it looks like, creating cover stories and national pastimes. So that also had connected information. So you can check out all those names and just plug them in. I'm sure the same kind of articles will come up for you. And if I look through it some more later, I'll come up with more summary information for you guys about that. All right, so, and if you guys have heard anything in the news, because I don't watch the news, about that kind of stuff, please do note that in the comments. Oh, and some very cool stuff was coming up with this Metatron read, which we'll get into as we go into it. And I wanted to remind you about Vivian Chauvet, and also she's a galactic healer. She's got her own website and she's on YouTube. She does a lot with Laura Eisenhower and different people, and also Ileana. They're both galactic healers, and they're both very Arcturian energy, and you can see, I totally see the energy as so similar between the two of them. If you want to check them out, they're wonderful healers. And so yeah, let's get into this Metatron read. And today is the 10th. The 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, and the day adds up to the 17, which is the star, which has to do with healing and your dreams coming true. With the Wheel of Fortune, it's amazing energy today. It was a nice sunny day. I got some grocery shopping done today. And the underlying energy, the first card out in the underlying energy was the fire card. Again, the dragon fire with the 19, which is the sun. And then signs, and then the bottom of the deck was review with the 2, which is the high priestess and the divine feminine energy to go within and meditate. And the first card out was the wake-up call. So let me show you the picture of it, and we're going to get into the read on the table today as well. So here's the picture. of the Metatron read. And the order I go in case you're wondering, this is the underlying energy. This is the bottom of the deck, but this is the stack right here, and I pull 3 cards down. I start here and go across, and then these cards are kind of like the conclusion, and then I usually pull 3 cards, which makes it a 21 card read, but sometimes I'm guided to pull a couple more, so that's why there is there today. We're going to roll the die as well too. Might as well do that now before I get started too much. For the twin flames, and we have, well, the Neptune energy, which I believe that came up yesterday. I'm sorry, it's not Neptune, it's Pluto. And did I say that the other day? If I said this was Neptune the other day, yesterday, or whatever it was, it's Pluto, because this is Neptune. I just wasn't saying the right thing. And we have Taurus here as well, and we have the number 5 over here, which is all about change, freedom, expansion, and the Hierophant as well, which is Taurus energy, and we have Taurus here. So we have Pluto, which is Scorpio energy, and Taurus are on the same axis. So that's really what the read is about today, that energy axis. And Taurus and Scorpio are the north and south node right now. So that's interesting. Okay, so we have the wake-up call as the first card out, which is number 11. And the colors that came up with this read were blue and silver, which is actually Archangel Michael's, blue platinum shield type of energy. Speaking of which, since I was telling you I was putting an invisibility shield around me. And fire and air, both of those elements came up in the read today. So at 11:09, I started going through the read. It was 11 of Justice, the 9 of the Hermit, which is kind of the reflection of 9/11. And the benevolent energy here was coming up the dragons, because the dragons were coming up yesterday as the Agartha earth energies, the benevolent energies, not as opposed to the reptilian type of energy. This is benevolent Agarthan earth energies, dragons that live in the earth but are more advanced than us, and the benevolent energies. And that was coming up before I'd done my read. So as soon as that dragon came up, that was the first thing that came up. The fire, sun, and the pyramids. And Chichen Itza was also coming up in Mexico. And if you're familiar with Chichen Itza, you know that there's one of those like snake sundials that's natural that becomes the tail of the, I forget what it is exactly. It's been so long since I was there. When the sun hits it at a certain time of day, it becomes the snake, or it completes. I forget what it is exactly. You can look up Chichen Itza if you're interested. But I feel very fortunate because I got to go to Chichen Itza when it was still open. You could go up inside and you could climb the steps as well. I have to say I had a bit of vertigo going up those steps because they were pretty narrow and there's no railings at the top, so anyone could just push you off. But Chichen Itza was coming up with the dragons and the Agartha energy and the snake sundial for strength, signs, and the birds with love for emotional fulfillment. So following your synchronicities and the messages from nature. And review divine feminine, time out needed, with the purple moon, which is coming up as 0 point, where the dark meets the light, it becomes purple. Also, the harmonic egg was coming up again today. And I might actually go do another session with the harmonic egg. But that was coming up, as well as Lake Tahoe. And then because of Lake Tahoe, the Salt Lake in Arizona was coming up, and then the Salt Lake City was coming up for Utah. So all of that kind of energy was coming up. So if anything's triggering you for something, you might want to check it out online. The ATK rocket display in Salt Lake City, Utah also came up. And then it was interesting that the dragon card of the sun came up, because then Arizona is the Sun Devils. So the Sun Devils was coming up, and then the Sun Birds, or the Sun Devils and the Mesa Birds and the Purple Moon were coming up together for some reason. And the egg, regarding the Purple Moon, because that's 0 point. So going to the harmonic egg is like that 0 point energy. The 1137's Justice and the King of Cups. So the wake-up call of the first card and the resonance chamber of the alignment and the 11, to listen and take note. Remember, you are a resonance chamber, right? You are the voice inside your body. Listen and take note. The mother is present with the blue energy, as Sophia comes up as the masculine reviews Akashic records to see new perspectives at 1140, which is Justice and the Page of Cups, which is that very innocent, pure, loving energy. The mother holds gifts and presence and space as the masculine is reviewing his Akashic records to detach from drama. And then for some reason I was getting drama, like a Minnesota accent. I'm not saying it right now, but a Minnesota accent was definitely coming up as I was writing detach from drama, or drama. How do you say drama in Minnesotan accent? My sweet mates were from Minnesota in college. So number 37 with the King of Cups, look up to heal. Remember, King of Cups is unconditional love, but if he's reversed, there's conditions going on there. Transform, receiving light with the shadow backpack. It's like when you're facing the sun, it forms the shadow in the back, but it was also giving us the image of someone walking with a backpack. Like your backpack is always with you. It's your shadow. It's your humble servant who always follows you wherever you go. As the light comes in from the Divine Masculine's review of Akashic records, and then the Om was coming up in the void. The A-O, and then silence. So it's actually 4 beats of the Om. And the void, which is the VO, which is creation of the human and the ID of that. The creative human ID'd A-O, Ma, and silence of the mother telling the child to shut up. And the purple moon at the 0 point, walking away and within. Healing hands come together to receive. Remember to heal yourself as well as healing others. And then the beacon of light, shine on for the waves down below coming in, right? There's always new waves coming in who are going to be reaching out for help. So as you receive that sunlight, you then turn around and give it back. It's like finding the needle in the haystack and then needing the melding together of the sword and the crown, where creator and you meet. So the silver moon union was coming up here, or the purple moon coming into 0 point at 1151, which is Justice and the King of Swords, as the warrior of light or of truth with laser sharp edges, so that the removal, right, of the swords or the pain doesn't hurt so much. And it's giving me the image of pulling the sword out while cauterizing on the way out, which they do in surgical techniques, and then which helps close the wound quickly in a sterile field. Treatments that are pinpointed or timed just right. And this was coming up, and then the date February 7th was coming up in regards to that 0 point energy, which is the 2 of the High Priestess and the 7 of the Chariot, the vehicle of ascension and infiltration. The silver home, because that card's coming up with the number 30, which is the union card, and the warrior in the light. So then 722 came up from Chronicles, which states, and they will say, because they forsook the Lord, ... that he had brought his adversity upon them, basically. There were no aspects on February 7th, though, when I looked it up on Cafe Astrology. And then going back to the read, at 12:12, we come to a new dawn, right? So there was a reset going on today, which was very interesting that I'd gotten this reset energy as I was doing this read, because when I got back from the grocery store, I did a meditation with Vivian, and that's all that she was totally talking about, the same exact energy, like a reset from Metatron, and that's exactly what came up in my read here, and I'm going to tell you that in a second. So the new dawn, high vibration, and welcome back across the valley of the sun, which is funny because the valley is Phoenix, and the desert portal, the wounded warrior Kundalini, and the release to the sun from the Akashic records. So what they were showing me to show you is that the Akashic records is a library, and it was showing me that the sword is like a card that you would insert to unlock your book, so you could take a book out from the library. And it was saying to So the sword is like a cash card, you know, and you insert it into the crown like a sword, like there's a hole in your head, and you insert it into the Akash and then into the crown for a lesson. It clicks back in like a library card to sign out books. And I literally wrote down a new system reboot or exchange. So in order to learn lessons, they're saying just use this visualization of going up to the library and using your crown as a checkout card. So you just like putting in the card into the slot to take out the new book and then pull it out. When it clicks, it's all set for a new lesson. And it was coming up as a whole complete system reboot, like taking out your old chakra system and putting in a new one. So imagine the sword, right, like the finger of God is your chakra system pointing in through your crown, and then it's putting in a whole new chakra system by checking out this new book through Akashic Records. And so self-love here, as above, so below. And remember when you're doing anything in the etheric realms to make sure if you're welcoming something into your energy, it's only benevolent of the highest vibration energy that's for your highest good. So there's a new operating system to upgrade today, January 10th, 2022. All umbilical cords were coming up as cut to dark agendas. The King of Wands is off balance again in duality, leading the way. You need to lead the way upstairs to pull them back up the stairs again if they've come back down the stairs a little bit. It's like a dance of strength with flame in right hand, with love at 1221, the blossoming rose line from the finger of your hand to the finger of God, which is now coming in as the chakra system, right? He puts you here. As he puts his finger down, he places a human into this realm. It's that kind of energy. So as the masculine side of you goes off balance, because the King of Wands can get too passionate at times, it's up to you to lead the way back upstairs in the dance of strength with flame in right hand, which is the right side, the masculine. And then love coming up with the blossoming rose line at 1221 from the fourth finger to the finger of God, or the sword coming in your crown down to your heart. The heart at the center knuckle of the finger, pulling up as the finger comes out to the tip or the nail on the head, the pointer finger, and the nail on the head slot where you put your library card in. The rose layers peeling back amidst the aqua gold. And then aqua gold was coming up. So I looked up aqua gold to see what was coming up under that these days. And aqua gold microneedling was coming up. And then back to the read about love, relationships, and harmony. And enigma may be coming up as well. Communication, speak up and be heard. You message in the bottle. Who are you today? Inner divine feminine and divine masculine. As Archangel Sandalphon, aka Saint Dolphin, is here with you on the Fool's Journey. The codependencies are the key to your freedom. The Knight of Swords, as that messenger of truth, be heard and fly free and transition through the diamond light, that you are held at the end of each day in the sunset, reflecting your energy with compassion. And that was at 1 o'clock. So the underlying energy here was about the sun and the pyramid, all about the masculine triangle, which is the change of the masculine in alchemy, and the moon of the sphere, or the feminine shape of the circle, the shaping in alchemy of the feminine. The sun pyramid masculine, the moon sphere feminine, with nature, birds, signs, and synchronicities between the sun and the moon for emotional fulfillment each day to make you happy. The first column was about waking up with the sun. Take your time in the morning to receive the energies in, like the magnet that you can hold over your head to allow the magnet to clear all the stuff that shouldn't be in your etheric field, and then the healing hands, perhaps of Sandalphon, over your head in order to send healing back into your body after you pull out the things that shouldn't be there, and to fill up those spaces with love and light. And be bright and sunny for a brand new high vibrational day. Then the mother holds space, and then she fills up with light. She's like the holding tank to shine your light, with waves rushing in now, holding space for them, and the wounded warrior Kundalini rising. The third column was about the review of Akashic records and the masculine here, as they were telling me, shh, we're at the library. The mother is the librarian. She's reading about 0 point and Om, or that's what the masculine's doing as she's watching him to make sure he's quiet. The Om, the sound of the universe, the sword and the stone, and the I am presence. As Jack stuck in his thumb and pulled out a plum island, reflecting with compassion, the weeping willow to willow, remembering that will is owie. That's the willow. Will, ow. Because will is 2 U's and ill. But when there is a will, there is a way, or double U's and okay, as ah and a. So Fonzie's coming up here. 2 umbrellas or 2 arcs facing each other become the circle of oneness, where all roads lead back to the center at 110, which is the end of this read. So now we're going to go into the twin flame read on the table. And I ended up watching The Wedding Singer last night, which was fun. I haven't seen that in a long time. And also a movie, Woo, which was a really stupid movie, but it came up for a reason, I suppose. So if you want to check that out, or maybe it's just the name that needed to come up. And here is the read on the table. This is the basic read from the Syrian Starseed deck. And then all 7 decks clarifying it here. This is what you're seeing on the table. For those of you not familiar, I have the Tarot of Sexual... Oops, a little bookmark came out with my pen. Okay. We have the Tarot of Sexual Magic over here, Romance Angels, the Rider-Waite Mini, the Universal Golden, the Gilded Tarot is back there. The main deck here is that Syrian Starseed deck. And we have the Numerology deck back there as well. And then I always pull Oracle cards at the end. So the first, let's see, the Syrian Starseed deck was cut at 8:16 last night, which is the dance of the 8 of strength, inner and outer strength, and manifestation of dreams. And at 8:28, F chalices came up again. So whether you're cursing out the emotions of the day, or the expanding and contracting, or trying to stay in the middle instead and reflecting emotions. And then CES also came up, which can reference these in French. But whatever CES means to you, or you can look that up in Wikipedia, which is what I usually go through to get definitions, because it brings you the definitions in all the languages around the world. At 8:28, which is the 8 of the strength, again, and the 28 of the twins, or the choice of path. And I finished clarifying at 8:43, 43 being the 3 of cups, the coming together. Enjoy. The only major arcana in the read was guidance, which is the Hierophant card in this deck. And after the read was the star and karma. Karma is the judgment card in this deck. There were 7 swords in this read. I never have 7 of one suit, ever. I don't even remember the last time I've had a 7 of one suit in the read. But there were 7 swords today. But it wasn't that heavy, actually. You know, you'd think if there's 7 swords, it's really heavy, but it wasn't. It was like the King and Queen of Swords, and the and even though the 8 of Swords was upright, it still wasn't heavy like I thought it would be. But there were 7 swords, so very much in the mind. Perhaps someone's doing a lot of intellectualizing. If you're writing a book, for example, that would be somebody who's spending a lot of time during the day in their head. But it also could be obsessing, so be careful. It's a purposeful thinking as opposed to ungrounded thinking. We have 1 pentacle here, 1 wand, and 1 cup. So it's 7-1-1-1. So, and that's significant too with the 1s and the 7s. We have the King and Queen of Swords were the main players in the read, and after the read, the King of Cups came up. Before the read, the Knight of Pentacles and the Page of Cups came up. There were triple eights in this read, which for me, the third eight is what tips the other two eights, the crazy eights dancing side by side, over into the infinity when you come together, which locks you in place basically with one infinity symbol going back and forth between your heart and solar plexus to each other. And then we have 33 of the Christ vibration, which is also the 7 of wands, standing up for oneself without getting defensive. We have the 77 as well, which is the sovereign energy of the 9 of pentacles. And then we have 7, 8, 9, 10, begin again and again and again. Every time you get off balance, remember to come back to the center, to the present moment, to your heart space. And we also have the 1 as significant here of the magician, and the 5 of the Hierophant, or change, freedom, and expansion. We have the 13 of the transition or death card, the 37 of the King of Cups, the 35 of the Wounded Warrior, which is the 9 of Wands, the 57 of the 3 of Swords, the 78 of the 10 of Pentacles, which is the end of the deck, or heaven on earth. And we also have 34 of the Energetic Exchange, the 8 of Wands, 45 of the 5 of Cups, 56 of the 2 of Swords, and 67 of the Knight of Pentacles. And the Phi energy is definitely coming up as well, the 89 of the expanding and contracting, or going to the middle instead and just reflecting instead. The code line was all about patience, manifestation, and environment, and that they were broken up into pat, ience, manif, and estation, and environment. The code line was all about the number 24, which came from 5, 10, and 9. And 24 is the Queen of Wands, but it's also Omega. It's very significant in a lot of the numerology of history. And the word foad came up, F-O-A-D, which means to kindle or ignite, set on fire. It's also the liver. And the way this came up was to kindle or ignite the editor-in-chief, or the I Am presence, to see the high road. And sack, remember sack could be like a bridge that bows down like a bow. But sack is also a bag to carry something. The 5 of expansion, freedom, and change, and the mass bridges of I Am, and taking ownership of those bridges. With the 10 of Pentacles, family, business, or community, or the world at large, the heaven on earth, or a legacy. With the 9 of Swords, who may be stressed out or suffering in silence. To fire up with that editor-in-chief, the number 1, and who's the number 1? You're number 1. To see the high road, or 309, or 309, or target heart rate in the sack, or your heart expanding mass. Your heart is a sack that expands. It's a mass that expands. To take ownership of that heart in the I Am that I am, the I Am presence, the 10 of Pentacles, family, business, and community, seeing the suffering and silence of the collective consciousness, and the Hermit, the one and the all, and the thoughts, words, blind men, and orphans. The energy of patting down someone, or pat one seal. That could be somebody's code as well. A protest break, a demonstration of prayer, to be the virus, or to be the brave man, to be the husband, or on the mind, to exist as source, as the spirit itself. So the 3 of Wands reversed was the first card out in the underlying energy, with the 4 of Cups upright, the Knight of Pentacles upright, the 6 of Wands reversed, the 8 of Pentacles upright, and then the Page of Cups reversed. So grounding and integrating the Knight of Pentacles, perhaps an offer of help under the radar, working to align with rejection of the past, and healing and perhaps forgiving as well. With secret passion, who perhaps is happy with themselves, awake to the dark night and the transformation. 2 out in the cold, happy as the 2 of Cups. It's like the couple, as long as we're together, we're happy. And the injustice of the Tower of sudden events and epiphanies, or sexual betrayal, and bleeding out at 9:56, which is the Hermit and the 2 of Swords. Knowing and keeping it to yourself. The 7 of Cups reversed is dumping emotional attachments or multiple loads, with the Hierophant, Taurus, marriage, religion, or establishment, and the Knight of Wands reversed, unable to sleep and rising above, or awake and coming out, with Taurus upright and Sag reversed, not sleeping together, or the Knight of Wands reversed on the couch, bowing down to a religious leader, in cross keys perhaps, a race to the finish line, or betting on horses on the way home. At 10 o'clock on the nose, so somebody's betting, there's a winning by a nose. So 10 o'clock on the nose is triple zeros of source energy backing up the 1 of the magician. Or the racetrack is his church, or going through withdrawal of anything and can't sleep. Or 1 foot is longer than the other of this religious leader. I'm not sure if there's actually benevolent energy there or not. It's questionable. It's like having other people bow down to you and do whatever you say or kiss your feet. And that can be a very loving practice, but it also can be a very abusive practice. So however it comes up for you. Someone with 1 foot longer than the other, with correction shoes no longer, or both horse and master are going au naturel, taking their horse shoes off, or going to a place of prayer where you must take your shoes off. The house of God, and someone's questioning, like, a house of God with conditions of love, what the heck is that, he thinks. No longer guarding their sexual energy, or glued to the glass ceiling, trying to get through to God in meditation, or healing heartbreak in meditation, with the Page of Pentacles examining the gold coin or the Christ consciousness, and the King of Cups reversed, imprisoned at night, protecting their jewels, imprisoned by anxiety as the full moon approaches, or Cancer who's just over emotional or being very detached, with trust here, and beneath it, past life relationship, and then the Queen of Wands reversed, perhaps no longer undressing in front of the kids or in front of their partner, or after falling out with narcissistic Hierophant, Taurus, or old man, depressed or arrogant, or needing to heal but finding peace without the truth involved. And it's like having a fight and never resolving the fight, but just having sex to feel better. But then you go back to the same old problems again. So you're never resolving anything in the relationship. You're just using each other for sex. Or the Queen of Wands reversed in a falling out, or Taurus with Aquarius, finding peace with sex, like I said, but leaving the truth outside the relationship. Or kids vying for the old man's attention, especially girls, but no more waxing of his chest, or will only be with him if he waxes his chest. Or the Queen of Wands reversed, old man Hierophant, they don't really like each other, so they fight to have make-up sex, but then never resolve any problems. So that was coming up as that same kind of energy. So in happy endings, and beneath that physical activity was 67, which is the Knight of Pentacles, the Emperor's death or transformation with the 10 of Pentacles, family, business, or community, or legacy of wealth, but there's no truth involved, and standing up for oneself in order to recover from exile, illness, injury, or destitution, after a sudden event, epiphany, or sex, or in avoiding a disaster with Scorpio man, or the crowd is protesting or not being let in, resisting sudden changes with Aries upright and Scorpio both upright and reversed here. At 1025, the Wheel of Fortune and the Knight of Wands. The Emperor may be wealthy, but the Knight of Swords reversed is recovering financially and trying to resist sex to heal and forgive, unable to sleep or just awake and coming out at night to howl at the moon and have sex outside under the stars in a happy ending, or at least a sexual release anyway. So, oh, by the way, the movie Woo last night, that was with Jada Smith, so Will Smith's wife, which was funny because the guy she's supposed to go out on a date with, predicted by the transgender psychic person, or the card reader, told her it was a Virgo she was going to meet. So she meets this Virgo, and then someone later in the movie says his birthday is 9/18, which was really funny because it's my birthday. So it's really funny. So at 1027, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the Ace of Wands, that new passion or the third energy, the truth of falling out in the past, or perhaps a bad childhood, or kids who are acting up, and the Page of Wands reversed, who may be all over the place, or frustrated, or sick and uninspired. and that could be a pet as well. The High Priestess, secret passion with a message of third party. In the Chariot, traveling or ascending without sex or without creative opportunity, perhaps dealing with sister or in suffering in silence, trying to get over the nightmare of the Knight of Swords reversed and the King of Swords upright, and a happy ending in walking away and within with the Wounded Warrior in surrender at 1032, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the Journey of, or it could be the Journeyman as well. And the Knight of Swords reversed and the King of Swords could definitely be a father and child there. They could also be siblings. They could also just both be air signs but not getting along. And then at 1204, which is the Hanging Man and the Four of the Emperor, the recent past is the King of Swords, with the Knight of Wands reversed, meeting up with the Knight of Cups reversed, which came up yesterday together, right? Because they could be both in their negative aspect, right? The Knight of Wands could be paralyzed by their passions, and the Knight of Cups is paralyzed by their emotions. And the Cancer Empress in a falling out, perhaps, with the Page of Swords message of detoxing weakness or ego death of the Emperor reversed, needing to swallow their pride, perhaps losing patience or their temper, with the Hermit reversed, who may be losing their mind or just feeling like they're going crazy, and there may be manipulation involved, or the Fallen Angel with Sagittarius, Virgo, and Gemini all reversed here, in a split or dividing something up, or cut them off at the pass, or trip them up on purpose so they'd fall on their face or embarrass themselves. The Hermit reversed and the King of Wands reversed may be implementing a plan to dump or dump on or push someone's buttons, with the Page of Cups reversed, which can be a rejection, but someone may have rejected an offer for detox or rehab, or the King of Swords upright with Capricorn in their chart, or the Hermit reversed is the King of Wands reversed, who may be sick or crazy or coming out with a plan to dump an emotional load on the Page of Cups spoiled child in rehab, or they may be seeing them as a crybaby or just as an infant crying and detoxing from the day, with the Knight of Wands reversed and the Knight of Cups reversed going at it, and that energy of them going at it may have affected this child who may be crying all day. And that could be a pet too, who's whining all day because they're stuck in the house with two children fighting, or two adults who are acting like children fighting. And then we have Sagittarius reversed with Cancer and Taurus both upright, Capricorn, Leo, Aries, Aquarius, Sag, and Virgo, Gemini, Aries all reversed here. The only signs that didn't show up right here were Pisces, Scorpio, and Libra. The foundation is the Queen of Swords upright under the radar, holding on to the King of Pentacles connection, who's connected back to the Queen of Swords, speaking her truth. And the King of Pentacles looks like he's admiring her for that. The central energy is the Eight of Swords upright, hiding in the woods in the dark, looking back and working the assembly line, or producing, or putting out. The King of Swords and the Queen of Swords imprisoned by the past and by work perhaps, and the Emperor reversed who made a bad call or made no call at all. And then at 1224, which is the Hanging Man and the Queen of Wands, the Fool reversed, embarrassing themselves or imprisoned by the fall or lacking faith in the Fool's journey to self. And the challenge being the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, or heaven on earth, in a downturn, or delay after delay, or the petty arguing, or not expressing one's true feelings. And the King of Swords Libra, with the Wounded Warrior reversed, surrendering, and perhaps draining kids and pets, or Leo reversed, or overexposure and out in the cold healing. The King of Wands reversed, dumping emotional attachments and or multiple loads, no longer confused about the one. Sick or in all business, or sick of being in an all business relationship, with the King of Swords out in the cold, extending an olive branch to the Queen of Cups reversed, who could be a Cancer, or at night no longer fantasizing and healing and forgiving. At night or with Cancer, sharing or settling out with Leo reversed, or someone who's sick, so somebody could have Cancer as well, and being weak or out of options and needing to heal the call or heed the call to action. Or Leo and Aquarius both reversed, and they're both on the same axis as well, and they may be feeling like they're out of options here, perhaps taking what they can get at this point. At 1233, which is the Hanging Man and the 33 of the Christ vibration and standing up for oneself, now crowning is the Seven of Swords reversed, perhaps a busted balloon, or letting the air out of the balloon. The Page of Cups reversed and the Queen of Wands reversed, carrying the weight of Atlas, or forced to work out, with the King of Wands reversed, who's depressed and embarrassed, or with Aquarius and Aries both reversed here and resisting sudden change. The Hierophant's defenseless to the King of Wands reversed, or vice versa, or without an excuse, not sharing information about a betrayal with the Divine Feminine or Pisces or the world at large in a heated exchange with the Knight of Swords reversed Libra, or injustice of the Divine Feminine with Libra in their chart, offering love over and over, and the Page of Wands inspired and walking in this and waking up in the slowdown, feeling the earth move, with sudden event, epiphany, or sexual exchange, or Libra reversed and Scorpio upright, with Capricorn and Pisces both reversed here, and the Page of Pentacles with an opportunity to end conflict and rise above, and come clean or clean up the actor space, and save for a sovereign, or saving for their own sovereignty to implement a plan, or get the Nine of Pentacles sovereign to invest 7 of their 9 pentacles. Perhaps saving or withholding in order to settle out, with Leo reversed and Aquarius reversed. And soon is the guidance here energy. And guidance can be Taurus energy as well. Religion, establishment, the marriage, the societal norms. But the guidance upright of the King of Swords upright, frustrated and leaving to end the nightmare with the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, and move the Queen of Cups reversed, so that the Ten of Pentacles and the King of Cups reversed with the Page of Wands can be inspired, or the King of Cups reversed maybe with their child or pet, or Taurus frustrated with Libra, King of Swords, and left, perhaps to go to the Queen of Cups and King of Cups both reversed home, and maybe they don't really want her to come, but she's coming anyway, and that could be her parents, at 12:50, which is the Hanging Man and emotional fulfillment. Or maybe they're just upset for her because she has to come over there, so they're in a fight, or they're breaking up. So the twin flames here are seeing themselves as the Five of Wands reversed, of ending the conflict without an option, with the Ten of Cups upright and a happy ending. At the workplace, perhaps settling out to end the routine and break the pattern, to drop the act or drop the ball, with Aquarius reversed in betrayal, or depressed and needing to heal from betrayal, with lots of pain or in a painful end, or the Ten of Cups upright, who are just fine with it all. I don't know what your problem is, but this also can be someone getting a massage. It can be as simple as that. They're an ending to a pain cycle or emotional cycles. Both tens came up here on the spot for the twins, and this could be the one, passion and reconciliation here for the twins. Around the twins, or how they're seen, as the Ace of Swords reversed in a split divide, or the need for the truth, with peaceful travels and the Knight of Pentacles making an offer to third party, or in need of reunion. Knowing and keeping to themselves, the Page of Wands may be pleading with the Queen of Pentacles reversed to come out with them, and the Knight of Pentacles offering time, money, and effort to a negative group, and the Page of Wands offering passion to the Page of Pentacles reversed. Or in other words, there may be 2 kids or two motivated people in the family dividing and conquering the work to take care of everyone who's got problems. Like, you go over and see Queen of Pentacles reversed, and I'll take care of the group over here because they're not happy, to get this resolved or to get the work done. And the block here is the Nine of Swords reversed, no longer underground, the Queen of Cups reversed at odds with the Five of Swords enemy energy, or just facing their own fears of withholding. Withdrawal could be coming up as well, but playing hardball, or the fear of no new beginning. With patience, manifestation, environment, but even more so love, the Knight of Swords reversed is not burning the past and frustrated coming back downstairs, or having to repeat steps at 108, which is the Magician and the 8 of the dance. Feeling badly about dumping a load, the King of Swords and the Sovereign implementing a plan to share with Leo reversed, who may be out of options with Aquarius reversed, or walking downstairs and right out the door as the King of Cups reversed is looking back depressed, or in need to heal and swallow their pride and heed the call to action with Lover or Gemini or Twin. With Cancer upright and Leo and Aquarius reversed, and there could be 3 Aquariuses here, and Gemini upright, the Knight of Pentacles upright under the radar is working out with the Page of Cups reversed and healing, or that could be working out their own rejection and healing, and awakening at night, or to Cancer for peace, healing the Queen of Swords and ending the conflict, with a group in a split or dividing it, the need for the truth with the King of Swords, hiding and challenged by the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community guidance, marriage, religion, or establishment, whatever it is, and stressed out or suffering in silence, or dealing with your sister coming clean or getting clean, or cleaning up downstairs at 1:15. So that could be yelling at the kids too whenever they have friends over, or if your partner has friends over. You can't expect me to clean up after you have to clean up, that kind of energy too. So at 1:15 is the Magician and the Shadow. At 1:16 of the Tower, and then leaving, so it's like someone needs to clean up downstairs and then leave. The King of Cups reversed in the past, or in depression or arrogant, and perhaps in the past made bad calls, as the Page of Cups may be healing with the King of Swords after a sudden event, epiphany, or sexual exchange, and the Queen of Swords may be hiding and challenged by the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, and coming clean about the risky business, ending a battle with the Hierophant, guidance, and divide and conquer to end the nightmare by coming back down, and that could be bringing your perspective back down as well, and feeling badly about not showing appreciation, and walking away to the King of Cups reversed, no longer waiting for their ship to come in, needing to heal, dream, and make a call at 1:30 a.m., which is the Magician and the 30 of Union, or the House. Let's just pull a couple oracle cards, see what comes up. At 51:26, and at 6:10 on the clock, which is my mother's birthday and my grandfather's birthday. I think it's my other grandfather's birthday too. I have several 6:10s. But the 51 and the 26 is the King of Swords and the Page of Wands. And the 6:10 is the Lovers and the Wheel of Fortune. All right, so from the Animal Spirit deck, take a deep breath. Oh, there we go. We got the Wolf. Stunned, dazed, and confused, or perhaps they got caught in the act. Someone looks guilty. Look at this. Somebody's definitely guilty. Look at these three. Well, you know Mr. Ed's on top of it all. They're in the middle. They're on top of their game. But these two, they both did something wrong, but this one's more shameful than this one. Or maybe this one's just stunned that this one got in trouble and they didn't, for a change. You know how kids always all get in trouble when they're fighting instead of just the one who's causing the problems? That's what it looks like. And this one also could be the horse defending the wolf and shaming the hyena over here. Maybe they never stick up for them, and they're surprised that they're sticking up for them here. They all look like they're in the same family, you know. And this could be a parent with two kids. You know, it could be two parents with one kid. Just depends on your perspective. But there's, you know, there's no color but the lower chakra energies here. Even with the horse, there's just the yellow and orange chakra energy in the third eye. And there could be some Sagittarius energy and snickery energy. And we got the lizard here too. But they're walking, the lizard, these two are both walking away. So these two could be parents with these two kids who got in trouble or something like that. Or any kind of situation. It doesn't have to be two parents and two kids. It could be a work situation where these two got in trouble and this one's shocked that they did something wrong, or shocked that they actually called them on it. That could be coming up as well. So let's see what else comes up with this kind of stuff. The bottom of the deck again is the butterfly, which it was yesterday, I think, which is that big transformation, but they're still not used to flying with their big wings yet there. Right? And there's the swans again. Okay, so the twin flame energy in transformation, still working on flying out of the nest. And then let's see what the journey of love has for you today. I actually want to pull an energy deck card too, which I will. Actually, let me pull a I'm going to pull a Lenormand card to see what's going on with the wolf situation. What's up with the wolf and the horse and the hyena and the lizard? Can you clarify that, please? What's going on with the four of them? That came right up. The family. Okay, it's definitely family. And there's a community of birds. Again, this could be having your friends over. And that was coming up in the read, that, you know, not cleaning up after your friends are over. There's the mess. Leaving food out in the living room. Look, a mess. The kitchen, the living room, all over the place. So it's definitely family issues. And it doesn't have to be kids. It could be grown-ups who aren't, you know, pulling their weight, doing what they're supposed to do. This also could be burning bridges and not letting people back in the house anymore. And this is the Queen of Cups with the 38. To keep the nest in order. We're not allowing, they're not coming over anymore because they don't respect our space. The key to your freedom, standing up for yourself. And happiness. The bottom of the deck is the angry man, the 28. This is the masculine sticking up for themselves. And we actually have the two power women here, right? This is the power woman, this is the power man. This comes up as the twin flame energy, choice of path, and this being present in the moment with their gifts. And, you know, cutting out the crap, discerning what energies are good and not so good, but they're not necessarily together. These could be two people apart from each other, both looking out for each other while cleaning up their space of energy. And then from the journey of love. That with the family too, could be fighting over the jab too. All right, this is what's coming up. Across the waters, 23 is the King of Wands, and that always comes up as the imbalanced energy in the Metatron deck. So she's waiting, you know, she's sitting there in the wall at the vortex, standing in the midst of all the turbulence of the twister, seeing the light, the very bright light that is very close to her now. It's so close she can almost touch it. And that's the King of Wands who's coming in. She feels it. And these two just dropped on the floor. So the King of Wands is there, and there's a feminine there waiting for him. And then we have the devotion to the small, so dealing with children issues or pet issues or flower and nature issues with 32 on the journey of the journeyman, coming in to bring good news and end the war. And then she is the moon with 21, which is completion. And this is about the feminine nurturing herself, taking care of her inner child. And then the heart of the moment with the tower coming in. The bottom of the deck is 3, 2, 1, jump, which is the energy of all three in the vortex, the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, and that high vibration. And it also looks like an underground tunnel talking about secret meetings. That's coming up as well. And underneath that tunnel is the lovers. So we have the three this is the underlying energy. Underneath this tunnel is the lovers. It's like they're laying in wait, literally, to see what happens. The 57 of the Three of Swords. And beneath that is heaven on earth. And there's the projection, just like in The Green Mile, him watching Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers on the old-fashioned movie projector. And this is like the way the ETs can project themselves in, so, you know, to kind of break the ice so that people won't be scared of them. The 70 of heaven on earth, when we're able to connect with our galactic friends. And this could be, you know, watching a drive-in theater type of movie thing, you know, or watching a movie in the park, or watching a movie in the sky. That would be really cool. And then 3, 2, 1, jump. Jump right in. I'm getting twinkle, twinkle, little star. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. So high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. And this could be just two twins looking up at the sky at the constellations together and talking about ETs and the projection, perhaps. And then, this is like the same spot, like they're in the vortex together doing this. This is in black and white, and this is in living color. In black and white and living color, just like the old movies. And then the modern version of that. How cool is that? That's just the underlying energy after their gifts are received, because you're getting upgrades right now. So I told you it's a reset. After the feminine worked really hard, because the Mary Magdalene energy was underneath that. And this is what's coming up. It's all the feminine energy here. Here she's waiting in the wall. She's waiting in the wings. Devoted to the small, to the vulnerable, to her inner child and his inner child, and to the children and the old people who can't take care of themselves. On the journey, you notice it's 23 and 32, the reflection of each other, the King of Wands, and the one bringing in the good news, the journeyman or woman. She is the moon. She is the 0 point field. In the sudden moment, the epiphany, in the heart of the moment, that 0 point. I'm getting like the blushing bride. That was coming up in something else too, where she looked like she was blushing. The feminine's coming up very humble in these three pictures. She's very calm, and she's got her hair pulled back in this picture. She's very lovely, but nothing over the top, just very simple. And here she's out there making sure the plants are getting watered or taken care of. Very simple, black and white. And then here she again is she's covering herself or being modest. Coming full circle, putting the power in her heart, not in the way she looks. The heart of the moment, an epiphany about this. And coming full circle in completion with the 23 to 32. 23 to 32. All is complete. And you notice 23:32 is just before midnight. It's 28 minutes before midnight. 28 is the twin flames. When all is complete and right with the world. When there's an epiphany in the heart of the moment, that you're whole just as you are at every moment. So let's see what they say here. If they want to, I'm going to pull an energy card too. So again, there's people getting in trouble at home, in the family, or perhaps at school as well, or in a group of friends, either getting in trouble for leaving messes or needing to come clean or get clean or clean up your act or your room, or literally arguing about the jab at home as well, because there'll be differing opinions. So let's see what's going on. Or maybe of mice in the house as well, or a snake in the house. Third chakra, Archangel Chamuel, which very much resonates with Archangel Sandalphon or Saint Dolphin. It's 37 of the King of Cups and unconditional love, having confidence, shining your light. And there's the fifth chakra of Archangel Gabriel coming up today with the Knight of Cups and the King of Cups here. The third and fifth, right? So being confident and then having the throat chakra activated here. This is really powerful for the masculine. As the feminine holds up the moon, the 0 point, the 52, she holds up the 0 point field as she holds space as the masculine gets activated here in his heart chakra. Oh, this was something I learned, which I didn't know. Z said in circumcision, the tip of the penis is connected to the heart of the masculine. So literally, it's their heart connections cut away when they're born. It's such a traumatic and abusive thing to do. So etherically, yeah, it's a terrible thing. And it's like getting that energy back, healing that energy, and in their solar plexus of confidence, right? In order to heal the heart, you have to make sure the solar plexus and the throat are both really strong, because they have to support the heart on either side. So being activated to speak their truth while the feminine holds space, holding up the purple moon, the 0 point, the 52 of the Queen of Swords. So the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Swords and the King of Cups. And there we have Archangel Michael too at the root, 35, which is the Wounded Warrior. So a lot of masculine energy coming up over here. And then look at that. We have the crown chakra too with Archangel Uriel. And then the man, wow, guys. And then the healer, which is the King of Swords. Oh my gosh. We have all the chakras coming up here. And then the sun. Wow. So what do we have? Look at the bottom of the deck. Is the caring connection of the higher love. The 14 is the Temperance card of the angels. And we have, these are the cards that came out. We have the 3rd chakra, the 5th chakra, the 1st chakra, the 7th chakra, the 2nd chakra. So what do we don't have? We don't have the heart chakra. We have the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. We have the throat chakra. We don't have the 3rd eye. We don't have the, but we have the crown. But we do have the healer of the ages. So the 3rd eye and the heart are missing here. And we have the sun. So 3rd and 5th are activated. The goddess of the moon holding space at 0 point. And then the root chakra with their Wounded Warrior. And then the graduation of Archangel Uriel. Learning to be happy with themselves. And then the 51 of the King of Swords, who's kind of, see, they're all winged energies because they're the chakras, but this one's not. The goddess of the moon is coming up with those 2 chakras, and then the healer of the ages is the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. He's coming up with these 2 chakras. She's coming up with the solar plexus and the throat, and then he's coming up with the root and the crown, right? From root to crown, so the whole, you know, the whole chakra system. And then we go, the 2 of them, so they each have 2 chakras, and then they each go back to the 2nd chakra together for their time in the sun. How do you like that? And they don't need the heart and the 3rd eye because they're connected by the heart and the 3rd eye. Very cool the way that came up. All right, so with the animal spirit deck, we have the wolf, who's the leader of the pack. That's hard for them to let go and let the kids do what they want to do. So let's see what the wolf says. Wolf is guardian of the family and tribe, activism and ritual. The wolf's mission is to uphold the well-being of longevity of the pack. Healthy wolf energy expresses itself through activism, mentorship, humanitarian efforts, or teaching religious or political studies. The wolf gets into trouble when it assumes that every member of the tribe must follow suit. This includes children walking in their parents' footsteps. Although it will surely be uncomfortable at first, practicing tolerance helps balance out agitated wolf energy. Contemplate the following. Embrace all, exclude none. When in balance, they're reliable, democratic, and fearless. When they're out of balance, they're judgmental and dominating. To bring back into balance with the wolf, practice letting go. And then with the journey of love, we have across the waters with the King of Swords, 23. And 22 is, we have 21 and 23. 21 is she is the moon. That's one of the cards that came out. And what's between that and across the waters is loving all that is, number 22, which is very resonant with the year this year. So across the waters, you're being called across the waters as if crossing a bridge of light from one ocean to a far greater one. These waters are your emotional waters, holding your feelings, your attitudes, your expectations, and your fears and doubts, as well as your hopes and dreams. It can seem like such a lot to navigate. Sometimes our waters feel overcrowded, as if swarms of people are descending into the ocean on a sweltering hot day, hardly finding space in the water to cool ourselves. We can feel as though there's just no room for our faith, our trust, our peace and love. There's just too much happening in the water. We yearn for the cool, calm mountain, lake, serene, giving, echoing a gentle dispensation of grace. You're being called across the waters, out from the overcrowded sea into the cool spaciousness of the endless lake. So it's time to let go of some mental clutter, some attitudes, some thoughts, and ask for help, and that's very connected to the 7 swords in the read today. So it's time to let go of some mental clutter, attitudes, and some thoughts. Ask for help and bathe yourself in the green and gold rays, which is the heart and the solar plexus of the healing color. Just imagine them cascading down around you and through you like a waterfall. It's a bit like you are moving to a new neighborhood in a cleaner and more spacious town. It might be a bit unfamiliar at first, but soon enough you'll enjoy the difference. This oracle brings you a message. It is your time to think about something different, or in a different light. Soon you will have a shift in perspective, and the feeling of overwhelm, stress, and just too much going on will be replaced with serene trust and peacefulness. Know that beneath even the most chaotic mind is a place of deep, quiet serenity within. Do whatever helps you dive deep to find it. Dance, take some rest, meditate, do yoga, write, paint, make love, make music. In that quiet serenity within, you'll be leaving unnecessary chaos behind, and you'll be presented with the gift of a new way forward. Inhaling the soft scent of promised taste, the nectar moist upon my lips, I savor each sip across my tongue, dwelling in the moment's pleasure, warm and sweet, bathed in tingling thirst, I find myself wanting you and wanting more. And the next page is a space between the words. So remember your water, your rest, your joy, your nature, and to follow your own guidance. And rise and be love.